Hello and welcome to the FGandRZ podcast. I'm your host RZ or Aaron, and my co-host FG or Luke. Say hello.
Yeah.
So, this is an exclusive podcast related to Game of Thrones. We also do a weekly podcast, which is just about games, TV series, and movies. But because it's the last season of Game of Thrones, we're doing exclusive and just talk about Game of Thrones alone in this podcast. So anyway, Luke, what did you think of the third episode?
I was overall disappointed.
Right, can you elaborate on it for me, please?
Okay.
Wait,
so
what was the episode called? It was called like a Dark Night or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Endless Night or something like
Yeah.
that. So I think so for me, I have to give it a little bit props because I think I had very high expectations going in, which could have hurt why it was so disappointing to me.
Yeah, same.
And there was two big reasons that have probably impacted it for me. And that's one, this is straight after Endgame, and Endgame was amazing and phenomenal for me.
Mm-hmm.
And two, we had pretty much 2 episodes of build up, where one of those episodes was purely dedicated to the idea that this is going to be the last time we see these characters on screen again.
Mm-hmm.
And
you wanted people to die.
Yeah, if I go back and watch episode 2 now, like episode 2 of season 8 was amazing for me because it set the tone for the battle. It played on the idea that these characters having emotional moments together because we're gonna lose a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't lose any character that had those meaningful moments. We didn't lose. We had 2 characters that I actually cared about that died, I believe, which was Theon and don't know his name. Guy with the fire and the eye patch.
Yeah, I just call him One Eye. Like it just goes.
Yeah, call him One Eye.
Right. Honestly, right. So the very start I thought was the very start I thought was quite slow at first. Right, it took like 15 minutes to even get something moving. And I didn't mind because I knew the film was the whole episode was going to be a long episode anyway, so I didn't mind it at first. But I honestly felt like I know they done like a little video afterwards talking about like how people get when watching battle scenes, they get like battle fatigue. And honestly, I think they actually tried to battle fatigue you in this. I was like, the very start I thought was really good. When you see that woman light everyone's swords on fire and they run in and you can slowly see the swords disappearing.
Oh no, I hated that bit. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was like, oh, this is terrifying. Who does that with their cavalry? They just send them in to die?
Yeah. It was a bit of a stupid idea.
But that's not even what cavalry's for. Across any TV show, film, game, like any strategy game you play, that's not how you use your cavalry. Your cavalry is used after the fight has started. They come in on the enemy's flank and mow them down. They do not engage a fight because they are going to be so much farther ahead than the rest of the army.
Literally.
That being said as well, it's not even like you're using them to thin out the army of the dead before the actual battle starts. Because they're gonna raise them back as their own.
Yeah, and that's one thing that it just felt that no one understood. No one it really felt that no one understood the idea that as soon as your team fall, they get back up and they are on the other team again. And it felt, it did feel like they were just throwing people to die. They were literally just sending people in for their death.
Across the internet as well, it seems to be like a collective the collective opinion of everyone was, why the fuck did you just kill the Dothraki for no reason?
Yeah.
Just for literally no reason at the start, you just said, die.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, so you've got your real skilled warriors in the back, like the proper but the Dothraki are good. They're not terrible fighters. Like the
Dothraki are considered some of the best. They're I wouldn't want to fight the Dothraki on open field combat. They're considered stupid good warriors.
Exactly. If anything, I would have put maybe the Dothraki inside. So once they all come in, let the Dothraki kind of play. Or yeah, maybe keep them outside, but just hold them in there. Kind of just hold them at like your stance. Maybe have your good guys with all the spears holding like the doors and everything.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the Unsullied. If you're using spears, you're the front of the army. You are the spearman. Like you are the main infantry. Your cavalry is not your main infantry. And for a TV series that has got like this massive like medieval war thing behind it, and you've got like characters who should have battle knowledge, I would think they would know better than to just send their cavalry in with no backup whatsoever versus what they are expecting to be one of the hardest fights they're ever gonna face, if not their last fight. Yeah. And they're just like, we're gonna kill people that they don't even have the people to suicide, and they're just like, we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, they like can't afford to kill all these, just commit suicide, and they just do it.
Exactly.
The one thing, right, that I didn't mind. So you had that scene with the flames. I thought that was pretty decent, right? But I know you didn't like it, right? You see everyone retreat.
I liked her lighting the flames and stuff, because let's be real, it was the only lighting we saw throughout the whole fucking episode.
Thank you so much. Is it just me that literally was watching that squinting? I can't fucking see. Yeah. I literally could not see the battle. There was so much fog and smoke and just crap in my screen. I could not view it.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. You're trying to make like an atmospheric fight. I want to see it though. Like I can't. Okay, yeah, cool. You're trying to make it like, oh, this is what the fight would have been like though. But it's still a TV show. I'm still trying to watch the TV show. Yeah. It honestly hurt to watch it because I'm trying to see what's going on between the camera shots as well, flicking from person to person within seconds, and I'm just like, mate, I can't follow what's going on. Yeah. It's like, okay.
The thing. Go on, sorry.
Maybe that's their idea. It's like, oh yeah, the battle, you can't really see what's going on because it's so chaotic and stuff. It's like, yeah, but I'm still watching a TV show.
Yeah, exactly right. So the thing is, it was so chaotic, you didn't need the camera to jump around the map.
Exactly.
Right. I was watching people literally get ran fucking down on. Like, you would be watching a character and he would be ran down on. But as he's being ran down, they pan to another character that's also being ran down. All I needed to see was that one character ran down. I then know, fuck me, there's too many of them. And then you can pan over to another character getting ran down. I didn't have to see every character get ran down at the exact same time. All that quickly.
All within like 5 seconds as well.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was just you, but it honestly felt like very important characters got mowed down, and it was like, oh my fucking god, they're gone. And then they just appeared and they were fighting again. And it was like, what happened to him? He literally had like 20 people on top of him.
Like, I don't want to skip ahead of like where we already are, but like, for example, let's talk about how pretty much every soldier managed to die except for Sam. Let's talk about that real quick. You've got all these soldiers, the Unsullied, dying, and you've got Sam who's being mauled by like so many people as John's going past him, and it's just like, yeah, I'm alive at the end though. And it's like, honestly, how are you alive?
What, right? Literally, right. The Sam part actually made me, through the whole thing, I was kind of just watching it, like, kind of just watching. I didn't really have emotion to it. When I seen Sam, I bursted out laughing. He was literally just lying on a pile of corpse, just stabbing whatever's next to him, and it was just like, out of you, all the warriors, like, you're one of the final ones. And
it's like, and that's what ruined the episode for me as well. You literally have their entire army dead, and then like it's just bodies upon bodies, and then every character that you know just stands up like, we're still alive though, and it's like, how are you all still alive? And it's
like, you watched, like, the one for me, right, is maybe I don't know, maybe I'm like a Walking Dead fan too much, right? You watched Brienne get knocked down. She was being mauled by everything.
It was like they was biting her.
It was like they were ripping her apart. Jamie comes running over, pan cut, you never see that part again. Next thing you know, they're together again, and it's just like, wait, what did he do? Did he just pull out a fucking Garen and just spin to win and literally just head chop everything? I don't know what happened. How did he defend her? What happened? They were both being overrun. I would have thought the only option there was for him to like leave her. He was getting like overrun. She was getting overrun. Somehow they got out together.
Yeah, and then like even later, same thing happens to Jamie, and then Brienne does the exact same for him. And then you have like Podrick, Brienne, and Jamie all against their backs against the wall in this courtyard. And it's like you see Snow go making his way through the courtyard, and they're fucked at this situation. Yet somehow they are still going up to the very end of the episode. And I'm like, well, that I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah.
Your back's against the wall. You have nowhere left to go. It's just you three versus this horde. Like, if you're telling me you can be fine in that situation for like 10, 15 minutes, which is what it pretty much was, like, I'm blown away because then. Like that's unrealistic to me. And you've got like Tormund, who I only saw once during the episode. Like, I never saw Tormund pretty much at all during that episode. And like I just see him on top of a pile of bodies swinging around, and I'm just like, there's literally no soldiers left alive, and somehow you're also left alive on this pile of bodies.
Yeah, so Tormund was kind of weird for me because I've seen Tormund quite a bit, but he was never a focus point of the camera. It was you've seen him like in the background fighting, and it was nice to obviously see him
during the entire battle.
Yeah, like there was some. I don't know who directed that episode, but it felt like they'd done it wrong. Honestly felt like all the fast parts needed to slow down and all the slow parts needed to speed up.
Yeah, and like you've got Jon and the dragon for the entire time. I don't give a shit about that. I want Jon in the fight.
And honestly, I felt like Jon wanted in the fight as well. It was just like, get off the dragon. He's just flying around. It's same with, like, understandably, Daenerys, all she can bring to the table is the dragon, right? She got more fucking floor combat than him.
You're not even wrong.
She literally did.
So I will say the only death hit. So there was only a couple. So I will say this: I liked Jorah's death, and I did like Jorah. Like, obviously, I like Jorah a lot. I thought like him and Daenerys fighting in the thing was really cool.
I thought it was good,
like,
good emotional point.
Yeah. I thought Theon was cool up until he killed himself. When I'm just
Theon annoyed me. Yeah, don't even piss me off. He literally ran into his death.
Yeah,
and it was the dumbest. Right, at least let him fucking try and fight him. I don't want. Literally, it felt like off a movie. You know, where like the fucking boss. Well, he technically is the boss, I guess, but he literally just clapped him like he was a fucking minion. Like he literally he karate chopped the fucking spear down, stabbed him.
And it's like, to be fair, I wouldn't mind him clapping Theon, but I just didn't like the idea of Theon just charging him with a spear. I was like, that's just never gonna end well for you, mate.
Yeah.
Like, I would have much preferred it. Like, I thought it would have looked fucking sick, right? As if he like drew a line in the snow with that spear in front of like Bran, and then like fucking the Night King starts walking forward, and then they have like a little 1v1. Yeah, and Theon can get clapped in it. I don't care. But I think that scene would have been way better to me. Like, I'm protecting this guy. You aren't getting past. You know what I mean? Kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, Theon had such a good moment. Like, the entire Ironborn are getting clapped. He's like fully keeping Bran going.
He was doing really well. Like, that's what I mean. It was like, he should have had a moment where everyone's spread out for the Night King. Night King walks forward. He does the line across the ground. Night King walks over the line. Theon then kind of like squares off with him. Night King does him in about 4 moves. Like, Theon tries to swing at him. Night King just fucking smacks. The spear breaks. He goes for another attack, hits down, slashes his throat. He's pissing blood everywhere, and the Night King doesn't care.
Another death I liked was the Ser Jorah's fucking nephew or niece, cousin. I liked her death with a giant. That was quite brutal, and I did like it a lot. She was like, it was a good death for her, but like, she's also a character that I don't care about. Like, she's a cool character, but like,
she's a character that I was about to say. She's a character that you see a lot. So when well, not a lot, but she's a character you see around. So when she dies, it's like, oh my god, they've killed her off. But she's not a character. Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
Not one that's been built up or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know, but it felt to me like whoever I keep going back to the director, but whoever directed this, it felt like they just got off watching World War Z. They literally just finished World War Z, and they was like, we're replicating this shit. It's too good.
Also, by the way, I don't know if you know, but you know Ghost?
Yeah.
Somehow he survives.
Oh, really?
Yeah, despite being with the initial cavalry charge at the start, and then you don't see him for the... So everyone in that cavalry, basically, they either ran back and you saw them run back, or they died there and then. you don't see Ghost run back, and you don't see Ghost do anything for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, why? You know what I mean? There's so much of that episode where it's like you have 80 minutes, and it's like there were parts that I really liked, right? Like I really liked the part when the Unsullied were like escorting Melisandre out, and she was trying to light the pit on fire and stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
And you know why that part was cool? Because I actually got to see what the fuck was happening during the episode as well.
Yeah.
Like generally the parts that were, like, I enjoyed the parts that weren't too dark. Like so Arya I loved every Arya part during this.
Every Arya carried
best part,
that episode
best part
for me.
of the TV show for me. Yep, best part of that episode for me was Arya, and I don't dislike the end of Arya. I dislike the end of the Night King in that episode.
100%.
So I really did want Arya to kill him, and I absolutely would be fine with the way that she killed him if he had a fight scene. None of the White Walkers have a fight scene.
Yeah.
None of them.
Literally, like
all the way from season 1 to this, and not one of them gets a fight scene.
It was upsetting that you see no combat from them. They just got ran down. They didn't even need weapons. They literally didn't need, because you didn't see them swing any. You just seen them run over people.
Honestly, like the Night King didn't even use he used fucking Theons to kill him.
Yeah.
Like exactly, like they don't do anything for the entire episode, which is like, okay, that's fine. But I thought it would be cooler if we saw the Night King's generals like actually fighting certain characters like Jaime, Brienne, stuff like that, and then we have more.
What I wanted.
I'm way more invested in that, and like I can follow that way easier. As on top of like, listen, I was also a person that said I didn't want Snow killing the Night King. I thought it was too predictable, too just generic. Snow's always the hero, and I thought it'd be really cool if it was Arya. I did want a Snow versus Night King fight though.
Same.
I wanted a Snow versus Night King fight
with the Arya jumping then at the end, or something
and Arya
like
saves
that.
him at the end. Arya saves him at the end and kills the Night King.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect for me. But instead, we get this culmination of season 1, episode 1 builds the threat of the White Walkers, right? And like the idea is that like even though the Iron Throne is like the pivotal story, the White Walker one it's something people were waiting for, from season 1 to season 8. It's always in the background. It came up like once every season, maybe once every 2 seasons. Like it wasn't. It was just more the end. What felt like it was going to be the actual end game of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like how with Avengers, right? Like that you never see Thanos in the first Avengers, but like they're always teasing that Thanos is the final fight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's all leading up to that, and that's kind of how this feels, where we have the main story is for the throne, but the actual background one, the one that matters, all the way from season 1 to 8, and this is the final resolution where everything's gonna be put together, and I just think it was done wrong. Like, and it's like, okay, I think it's kind of like small-minded to think it's done wrong because it wasn't done the way I wanted it to be. But at the same time, it's not just that it wasn't done the way I wanted it to be. It was just more like you wrapped up the Night King in a really bad way, where like I don't think I ever saw the Night King fight once during his entire time on Game of Thrones. There was no nothing really. It was just the Night King's just a generic bad guy. He just wants to fucking.
It's the idea. It honestly is, in one sense, the idea of fucking Darth Vader in it.
Yeah.
Like you never watched Darth Vader fight, but you knew he was supposed to be the most feared character, so you feared him. But if you actually watched it, I was about to say, if you actually watched him, what did he do? He just walked.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it felt like for the Night King. One thing I will jump into that.
Because he didn't even get a fight, but worse because he never even got a fight, whereas Vader did get a couple fights.
Yeah. One thing I do actually really like, one scene in particular was probably my favorite scene of the whole thing. You had all the action coming down, and then you had that scene where Arya jumped into the library. I really enjoyed that scene.
Such a nice change of pace. It
was the only change of pace in this whole episode that I actually was like you through the whole episode. You just kind of like you're just watching it, and you're watching everyone get murdered, and that part you kind of like, it turns into like quite intense.
Yeah.
Because you've got Arya sneaking around like it was so perfect. It was absolutely brilliant.
Game, you know what I mean? Like, perfect. Like, I agree. I think everything about Arya this episode was a saving grace for it for me. And like I really liked how like the Hound came to her aid and stuff.
Yeah,
I
same.
really like the idea of One Eye being like his purpose was to save Arya.
Yeah.
I like the idea that Arya's destiny was to kill the Night King. I just didn't like the way that it was done.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Arya's fight scenes when she had her spear. They were so good.
They were really good. But why show that off and then not let her fight the Night King like that?
Let's also talk about the fact that like there was like a lot of emphasis seems to be put around this spear weapon. Like, can you make it for me?
Yeah.
And we didn't see anything that a regular spear wouldn't do.
It
like,
literally, like, and when she pulled it apart, it just looked like
pretty fast as well. Like,
yeah, it was not anything amazing. It was quite depressing.
On top of that, every scene of Arya getting chased in the castle of Winterfell was good. But there's so I want to talk about, and this kind of stems into the next episode. I want to talk about the next episode a little bit. There's a trailer for it, and I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, you can just watch the trailer while I'm talking right now.
Okay.
It's only like 40 seconds long. But the idea is, to me, that there shouldn't be more than like, I don't know, a handful of soldiers left standing. Because the dead pushed into Winterfell, and if it's gotten to a point where there's not even really a fight going on in the courtyard, and the only fight you're seeing is the main characters, and there's no actual side soldier left in the courtyard, and on top of that, you've seen Arya be chased through the castle. To me, that solidifies that there's not an army left. That's just like, that is your main characters left now. There's no one left.
Yeah.
Yet somehow the next episode leads you to believe in the trailer
there's still another army. Yeah,
they have an army left.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, okay, we won the Great War, now time to take the throne. And you see people, and like you would initially be like, with what army, love? But then you're seeing people like drinking in the air and raising their glasses, and you're like, mate, ain't you all supposed to be dead?
Yeah.
And like, first of all, as well, let's talk about the crypt. Why would you even show in it if nothing happened? Like, honestly, like, no one died in there. No one died in there, and yet you're making this big idea of like,
died again. No one important died in there. People died in there, but no one important died in there. It was just basics.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're having like the dead come out of their coffins and stuff in the crypt, and no one dies, and it's just like, why? Why'd you even show this then? Like, could have actually not been in it.
Yeah.
Because we know like everyone who dies in the crypt anyway is unimportant. They wouldn't have fought in like Daenerys' army anyway. So like, why are you even showing them die? Like, if you're not gonna kill Tyrion, you're not gonna kill Sansa, but I was gonna say Varys.
Oh yeah.
The bald guy. Like, you're not gonna kill anyone like important in there. Then why are you like, if you're not gonna like even what's her name, Sam's girl, Gilly, I don't know. Like, even that, like, you're not gonna show anything, and it's just, why? Like, why are you even showing the crypt then? Because it's not doing anything for me. I like the idea of Tyrion when like he was saying like, well, one of us could see something that they don't in the crypt, stuff like that. I like the scene when Jon was making his way through the courtyard and trying to get to Bran.
Yeah, same.
That scene was like really cool, seeing like people get like overrun and stuff. I didn't like that he got caught in the courtyard with the dragon, and the only reason I didn't like that he got caught in the courtyard with the dragon was because it meant we didn't get a Night King versus Snow fight. And even like, I don't even care if it's Snow, to be honest. I just wanted a Night King versus anyone that can hold a sword upright fight.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying you can't. Like, you could have
do.
fought him, but yeah, carry on.
I honestly half expected Snow to go for a fucking God of War moment and fucking jump on the dragon.
Yeah, I thought he was just gonna like, at one point I didn't think he was gonna jump on it. At one point I thought he was just gonna be like, enough of this, and just fucking neck it past it, just run past it.
Yeah, I thought he was either gonna like I thought he was either gonna attempt to like challenge it, or he was gonna like, he was just gonna fucking jump on it or something. Honestly, I thought he was just gonna try and hop on a fucking wing and just wing it, sort of thing, over there. Yeah. Like, I honestly thought he was gonna try something. It just felt like, I understand Snow is smart. He's not gonna just take on a fucking dragon on his own, but it did feel like Snow kind of just He did, like, he got pushed to side. I understand why,
Yeah, like
but
I just wanted to
did
still, I
want
still wanted
him
to
to
see
have
the
a fight.
action. Yeah, like an actual fight, and that's what I mean. Like that's the only reason I didn't like Snow's role in this was just because we didn't actually get to see a fight take place. And like I say, it didn't even have to be Snow for me. It could have even been could have even
Tyrion.
been like the Hound versus. No, not Tyrion. It could have even been like the Hound versus like the Night King. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been
So
good.
something like
I
that.
wouldn't
That's
mind
what I
that,
mean.
yeah.
Like I didn't need to see Snow exactly fight the Night King, but someone who can fight will fight. I also want to address the idea of how much emphasis they put on Night and Brienne. Like so the bond between Jamie and Brienne, for nothing really to come of it, no one to really lose anything.
Yeah.
But another thing I want to emphasize is at the end of episode 2, we get this big secret reveal to Daenerys that Jon and her are fucking related, and like
Yeah.
she's the heir to the throne. And yet it played no role in this
Yeah.
episode whatsoever. Like we have people speculating, including us, that like it's gonna lead to certain actions Daenerys makes and takes, and like maybe she doesn't help Snow when she gets a chance. She don't even hesitate. And it, maybe
You don't
speaks
even
to her
see if she
character.
hesitates or not. Like she
Well,
just
you are
fire
into
lands
it,
in front of him, and it's just like I assume that's Daenerys, or he's
Yeah.
dragging to be like, get on my fucking back again.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I also want to talk about the fact that she lands that dragon in the middle of a battlefield with all the dead being raised there. That's also
right,
that was
literally, and the dead are jumping on. Right, the dragon has about 3 dead jump on her. She looks around, sees that she's getting swarmed. Tell your dragon to get up. Tell your dragon to fly away.
Yeah.
The dragon literally goes, Daenerys, fuck off, I'm going, mate. Like, he literally picks to fly off on his own. Like, why didn't she tell her dragon to get out of there?
Also, no dragon besides the Night King's actually dies, which is like we speculated that no dragon would be left alive, and it's not like it's not like I'm hating on it because we speculated it, and it's like, oh yeah, we think of it the way we wanted it to. It's just more like I'm hating on it because there's no impact in that episode for me. The dragons are fine. All the main characters are fine apart from Sajura. Sajura is actually the only one that is like a big main character to me that died there.
Yeah, same.
Theon isn't, and neither's One Eye, but they're still like they're big enough that you recognize them being killed, but not big enough to really care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't. Like, his death was the only death where it was like, oh shit, sort of thing. But you knew it was coming as soon as she landed on the floor and he saved her. You was like, yeah, that's gonna be like either them both are dying or he's dying.
Yeah,
like like someone's getting left there.
Melisandre, I forgot she was even in this fucking TV show. If I'm being honest with you, I just didn't think she was ever gonna come back. So her death means nothing to me.
Yeah, same.
Like I say, the little girl's death, it was cool. She had a good moment, but again, not a big character to me. So Jorah's was a really good death. I'll give it that. Jorah, man, like he was going, man. Like, and then like as soon as
he had a proper good stand.
As soon as he knew he didn't have to protect Daenerys anymore, he just dropped.
Yeah,
it was like I thought that bit was like one of the best parts of the episode because it was what we should have got with more characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, honestly, it honestly felt like most of these characters, most of these main characters, this was the episode of all of their final stands, and that's why it was going to be on for so long, because you had every single one of them characters probably having their final stand, their goodbye episode, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it didn't happen at all. Like,
it's just teased that you're gonna lose them, but you never do. And like, but before you carry on remaking your point, I just gotta say one more thing. I feel like this is a result of like it not being the way George R. Martin. Well, it just not being a result of it being his work anymore, and it just being because obviously he didn't finish the books. This is now like the direction they
take on their own accord sort of thing.
I think the most that he said was like the ending of Game of Thrones is what he like. I think he told him what the end was going to be, but nothing in between. And so because of that, it kind of feels like Game of Thrones right now has lost the idea of no one is safe. And that is what made Game of Thrones so good. I don't think we've had like a really big character death in a really long time, since I'm sure you could probably track it back to when it stopped following the books because the books ran out. Like even like last season, for example, when Jaime is charging the dragon and then he's pushed like just before the fire hits him, he's pushed into the water by Bronn. and then like next episode he gets out and lives, right? Even though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I think this is the result of that, where like right now I don't think they're gonna kill any main characters. Right now I'm doubting their intentions of killing main characters at this point, to twist it up, because I think they're just playing on fan service now. Like, oh, Snow's a favorite, so we're not gonna kill him. Kind of how most TV shows do stuff now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it feels to me, at least right now. And it's because this episode was supposed to be the episode that brought that all back, that brought that like no one is safe. They all had their last moments last episode, and in this episode, we're gonna get to see them have like an epic final stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, yeah, it's kind of, it seems just weird to me. Like, yeah, I wanted this episode to kind of be like, this episode weren't supposed to be a stepping stone onto the next episode. This was supposed to be something that kind of like really broke the balance of the future of like this season, or this final season. And it just didn't. It was just like, well, everyone's still alive. All your main characters are alive. Everyone that died in that battle probably actually didn't die, and they're gonna be in the battle next episode. Like, not as in that character got up. No, I mean, just that actor has just got up, put a different helmet on, and he's gonna carry on.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's kind of been like, game over for you. Sorry, thanks for playing, sort of thing.
This is exactly what I mean, and it's like, right now the way I feel after that episode is, why was the Night King even in this fucking TV show anymore? Because, like I say, it's teased in season 1, and we're gonna see it, and then like, you know, we wait. We get teases, we get glimpses of his army outside the wall and stuff. Everyone's really hyped for it, and then this is the end that he meets, and it's like, I wanted him to end on this episode. I did. I just think it could have been done better, and I'm again glad I did the killing blow. I think I is like my favorite character now. But I did want an actual fight scene for the Night King and his generals, because it just looks like a fucking zombie movie to me, if I'm being honest with you right now. It looked like a zombie episode, or just a bunch of zombies running at people overwhelming them.
That's what I mean. It was World War Z. It was literally World War Z, and it was not what I wanted. It was literally just not what I wanted at all.
Like I said, I mean, even before as we was coming in to do this podcast, I was saying to you, I really hope that you like this episode, because I didn't want it to be like a negative episode, but I didn't enjoy this episode.
Yeah, same. Also, like, the one thing that I didn't like, and that I actually thought, fuck me, this is dragging. The Night King getting to Bran. You know the scene with the music.
Oh, what, the slow-mo scene?
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
I like that. I did like that.
I thought it was taking way too fucking long. You just was seeing a CGI face just walk. Is it a CGI? It looks CGI.
No, I think it's makeup. No, I think it is
really
makeup.
Okay. That's pretty impressive, because it looks fake. It looks just complete CGI.
That's impressive. It looks fake.
It looks like complete CGI, so that's pretty impressive. But honestly, he's just bowling, and it was just, after a while, I was just like, this is taking its time a bit now. Like, I think
the idea was mostly so that way, like, I think the idea was just mostly like, this is the moment that like he's been waiting for his savior, and I don't know. I don't want to read into it, but what I do want to say is as well, what a horrible end for Snow and Bran's story, because this is their story. Make no mistake about it. Like, Snow has season 1 gone to the wall, and like everything he's done up to this point has been trying to get people for the Army of the Dead, this, that, the other, and he doesn't really make an impact in this episode. He actually doesn't make any impact in this episode.
He didn't even need to.
Dragon does.
Yeah,
his dragon makes an impact. He makes no impact. Even him fighting to get to, this is another thing that I think was done wrong. So the courtyard scene when he's going through and he can't help Sam, because he's trying to get to Bran, and you don't even kill Sam.
Yeah,
he has nothing to live with now. Like, it's like, if he, in his mind, he's got to get to Bran, right? You stop him getting to Bran by facing this dragon, the Night King falls, and Sam's dead. He could have saved Sam at no consequence to the battle being lost or won, and then he has to live with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let someone die because he chose he chose the option that he
Yeah.
had to go for over that. Yeah, because
And
no offense, if you was any soldier in that battle and you seen someone you considered a very good friend leave you, you would be, you know, okay, that's completely fine. But if you die and then you realize he actually could have saved you, well, he actually could have helped you, he actually had no reason for the winning the battle, then it looks a lot more dark. Yeah,
he has to live with that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
his
I'm with
best
you.
friend that he could have saved and he didn't. And now, and like bearing in mind his best friend has a kid, or like, well, you know, I mean, like his father in one, little Sam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I mean, he has to live with that. But instead, they don't kill him, and it's just.
Yeah.
I'm left wondering what was the point of this episode, because like to me personally, I didn't enjoy the battle that much. I know some people did. I know some people didn't. I know one of the big memes is that like a lot of people didn't see anything, like because it was too black. That's what I'm saying. To me, I didn't even get to enjoy the battle because I spent most of the time squinting, really trying to follow the battle.
Same.
I thought, like I say, a lot of characters didn't even get battle scenes.
Yeah.
So I didn't really enjoy the battle. Definitely not as much as I enjoyed the Battle of the Bastards. So like to me, the point of this episode, like next to nothing.
It was to outshine it. Like
Yeah,
that's what
like,
I wanted.
Yeah, like they honestly, the way this could have gone, and I'm not trying to like, obviously this isn't true, but the idea is that like you could have just had you just fucking walk up behind the Night King and kill him before the battle even started. Obviously, I'm not saying like, I'm not saying that's what should have happened, or like, you know, even like that's what could have happened. But because nothing else happened, there was no meaningful death really. Like she could have done that, and you would still end up with the same situation really that you're in now, bar like some Unsullied and some Dothraki.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like if you actually sat down with someone and was like, so what did you take from this episode? You killed the Night King. Anything else? No, that's it.
Yeah,
you had Thingy's death, but other than that, that's it.
That's all there is to take. It's like Daenerys
1 hour
has no
and 30
army,
minutes for that.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's like, Daenerys has no army, and you're like, okay, well, where? And it's like that's one of the things, right? That like leads you to believe, like, okay, at least that made an impact. She now has no army, and we'll see how that leads into the idea of Cersei. But like I say, you just watch that trailer. It's under the impression that she still has an army. She's even talking about going for the throne still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you even see more people than you expect to see there. And to me, I'm blown away by it, because it seems like this episode could not have happened. Like you could have actually killed the Night King at this, like in season 8, episode 1, with like this like opening scene. He just jumps down, kills the Night King, and just goes back to Winterfell. And you would still get the same like idea that you have now. You know what I mean? With the same people left alive, the same goal is still to go for the throne. You still killed the Night King. And like obviously that would suck way more. I'm not saying that wouldn't. That would honestly be 100 times worse than this. But the point being that the Night King has kind of served no purpose to the story at this point.
Yeah, like how could they honestly just tease you for 8 seasons straight, and then just be like, bye? That's literally what happened.
That's what I mean. Like, this is Bran and Snow's story as well. Their story is the Night King, and it's over now, and they didn't play a role in it. They played no role, like at least in the final battle. What did Bran do? Nothing.
Literally,
a lot of people were speculating like he would take control of like a dragon and stuff, and it's like, but
literally, like
he took control of crows for no reason. It doesn't show you what he does with them.
Yeah, why won't like he should have had like you know, like I honestly like he should have had some strategic like ideas, anything. Just let him get involved. Just don't have him sit there like a target, like the whole. Like, he just sits there as a target. Everyone else just stands there dying. And then you've got Snow flying in the air that can't see a thing, so there's no point watching him. Daenerys is literally bumping into each other in the air. So I don't know what they're doing. Night King comes out of fucking nowhere, attempts to kill one, and then fucks off. What happened in that battle? Was that an idea? And then they just thought, you know what, forget it?
Yeah, that is literally 100%. That's what I mean. That's the idea of, like, because both dragons survive, why'd you even have that dragon fight?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even that cool because I couldn't follow most of it because, like, It was too snowy.
Honestly, I didn't even understand that fight. All you see is blue fire come up. Daenerys is swiping like left and right. All you see is blue at the screen, blue at the screen, blue at the screen. You see the Night King. He dips under the clouds. It's like, all right, is anyone going to go after him? I think Snow dips under the clouds. Gone. That's it. That is their battle scene done. And it was just like, that was it?
Yeah,
like,
exactly right. And you
wanted some like juice, like the Night King fucking jumps off his dragon, slits the other fucking dragon down or something.
Yeah.
And I'd have been like, what? Like, that's insane. This guy's a monster. Nah, he just fucks off because he realizes he missed.
This is what I mean as well, right? Like, you have so many like opportunities where you tease things happening, right? Like, okay, like the Night King, I knew he wasn't gonna die to the fight. It's not gonna be that easy. But then, like, you've got Snow behind him, right? Who is actually directly right behind that fight and somehow ends up about 100 feet away later on. But on top of that, you've actually got this moment where Snow and the Night King could fight each other, and instead you just raise the
he just pussies out.
Yeah, exactly. And he just walks off, like he pussies out and walks off, and then Snow's fighting, and it's like, oh, surprise, surprise! Here comes your get out of jail free card again, like the entire episode has had already. Kill the walkers with a dragon. And it's like, okay, well, what are the consequences to that action? Oh my god, the dragon's getting overrun. Is this where the dragon dies? Nope, dragon flies. Later, you see him come back down. Cool. So there's another get out of jail free card. No more consequences for the dragon landing. So okay, well, Daenerys is off the dragon's back. She's in like a fucking awkward spot. And it's like, yeah, Jorah dies for that. But as much as I love Jorah, he's not like Tyrion. It's not like Sansa, Tyrion, Daenerys, Bran, Arya. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's none of these characters. And I did.
His death makes a personal impact to Daenerys. That's it.
Yeah. And exactly. And again, Jorah, man, heart goes out to him. His fight scene was probably the best in the entire episode, just because it was one of the only fight scenes, which is really weird when you think about it, that we have this full battle. And that's one of the only fight scenes that you actually get to watch. Like, okay. I saw someone comment something saying like this was better than the Battle of Helm's Deep, and man, that dude was getting roasted. That dude was getting like every comment was just like, you're an idiot, this, that, the other. Because it's true, like it was the longest battle scene. I imagine it honestly was, but it was also honestly one of the worst because I couldn't follow most of it. I couldn't follow most of it, and it had no meaningful impact.
Honestly, just redo the battle. Like, just honest, if you could delete that episode from my mind, do it. Because that is upsetting to watch. Like, that is actually upsetting to watch. Like, as a fan, all right, there's certain things that disappoint me. That episode disappointed me. A lot of the Walking Dead shit has disappointed me. That Game of Thrones don't normally like even a boring episode of Game of Thrones is intense, really, and it's just like
it furthers the story along. You know what I mean? It's cool.
And it's just like that episode. Actually, I sat when it ended, and I was like, I'm gonna go see what Luke thinks about this. Like, it wasn't like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. Like, I can't wait. We're gonna talk about it for hours. Honestly, I was like, I literally scratched my head, and I was just like, I'll go tell Luke I'm ready.
Yeah. Like, right now the only thing I've got like is we've got 3 more episodes left, and maybe those 3 episodes will make sense of this episode.
Yeah,
that's like the only thing I've got. Like, because like maybe the characters that could have or should have died in this will die later on, serving a greater purpose. It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, right.
It's probably the greatest purpose you're gonna have, because this was the living versus the dead battle. It's more important than the throne, and that's the message they convey throughout the entire freaking series.
Yeah,
is that this is the one that matters. So.
Yeah, but for me, right, this was the part to kind of put every single person. So if you go on like on like a scale, the scale's constantly going up, right? And then this episode here is supposed to jump it so high up, you are basically like, you all deserve the throne. You all go take that throne, and you're just gonna watch them take the throne with the biggest smile on your face, because you know the people that survived deserved to survive, and the people that died, it was really sad, but they're gonna take the throne for them people. In this one, it's just like, all the main characters are still alive, no one died, nothing really happened. Honestly, it's really put a downer on like the whole season going forward. Like, I'm not as excited for this season's like final. As much as I want, like season, as soon as I was like season 8's around the corner, that was it. I was so happy, and now it's like I'm just like, oh, go on, then roll on the next episode. Like honestly, this episode for me, I was talking about as much as I was talking about Endgame, and like now it's just like, all right, roll on the next episode and see what happens.
And I do have to say this as well, right? Like I think one of the reasons it's been so disappointing for me, at least, is like I say, straight off of Endgame, we waited 2 years for this season, and then the past 2 episodes were build up to this episode. So there was a lot of build up for this episode. You know what I mean? Where Battle of the Bastards came out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like build up this, that, the other. It just came out of nowhere. But this, like I say, 2 years. I have some stats that I've lost now. I remember most of them though. Basically, this episode took 11 weeks to film.
Oh my god.
Cost $15 million.
Oh my god.
I think it had something like, I'm not sure, but I think it had like 1,000 people like on screen in total, like working towards the same goal, somewhere around that number. And it's like,
be great if I
how
could
do we
see
get
it.
this? Yeah, like exactly. Like I couldn't see any of it. And I couldn't follow it. And it's like, yeah, it's for atmosphere. It's this, that, the other, but it's a TV show. Like there are ways to make an episode dark and still be able to see at the same time. You know what I mean? Like convey the idea that like it's a really pitch black night, but the user can still see. Games do it all the freaking time. We turn our brightness up, but we still know we're in an area that's supposed to be dark. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, yeah, you just do anything to brighten it up. Just, I understand it's a night battle, it's supposed to be dark, and and the atmosphere is supposed to be a bit grim because you can't see what's going on, and you assume everyone's just dying. But when you literally are just watching honestly, right? You know what? I can make a cheaper budget for you, right? Show Daenerys, show snow, show a black screen, and show sound effects. That was basically what I watched, and don't put your budget in it, and be honestly, like, that's what happened. And then when people go, I was just watching a black screen, go, no, it was there, because that's literally what happened. Like you just watched people fall down, and you was like, who's that? Oh wait, who's that? Oh, who's that? Wait, I think that guy was Jamie. Oh wait, no, Jamie's over there fighting. No, I'm pretty sure that was Jamie. Oh no, Jamie's over there now. Oh wait a second, where's this person? That's all it was through the whole episode. And it was just like, honestly, whoever put that episode together needs to rethink their strategy. Like, this was your episode you don't rush. This was the episode you didn't want to rush.
That's what I'm saying. Like, expectations, man, through the roof. It's also an 80 swing minute episode. It's just like, man, we had high expectations for it, and like I say, it was just, I think it was done badly personally. Not even just because it was the way I didn't want it to go, but even the whole idea that most people have the same complaint, and that's they couldn't see what was happening for most of it.
Yeah.
And if you even like take a look at the very first scene, that's the Dothraki just running in and dying for no reason. It's a fucking point.
Yeah.
Honestly, can someone tell me what the point of that was? Because I refuse to believe that the man who like is putting your military strategy together, probably Tyrion, I refuse to believe he's that stupid.
Yeah. Just, what are you doing? What are you all doing?
Again, like the crypt scene as well. Like you show in the crypt, no one's dying. Big whoop, why the fuck you showing it then? Like no one important anywhere.
Yeah.
God, look, the dead are coming out from the crypt. First of all, I think I saw 90% of the comments predicting anywhere before that. Why are you putting him in the crypt? That's where the dead are.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself.
The dead. I saw like 90% of the comments were like that. And then like then they show in the episode that the dead come out of the crypt, and it's like, oh my god, that'll be cool, won't it? Oh wait, they don't kill anyone meaningful. Cool, so that scene is irrelevant as well. Just in general, like it kind of felt. Just man, that was the saddest way to kill the Night King again. The character I wanted to kill the Night King. But I wanted to see him fight. I wanted to see him fight at least someone. I wanted to see his generals fight. We have this battle scene where I don't feel like, if I have to compare it to the Battle of Helm's Deep, I feel like I'm watching. The best way to compare it would be watching the Battle of Helm's Deep, but without watching Legolas and Aragorn fight and Gimli. It would, those 3 characters to me, it would be like without watching those fight, and it would also without it would also be without having that badass Gandalf moment where he comes in with the actual cavalry. You know how cavalry riders are supposed to be, and they come in they come in on the enemy's flank and clean up the fight,
Yeah.
which is what it's supposed to be. Instead of having that Gandalf moment, we have, I don't know. I need a Gimli. We have Gimli come out, kill like the Orc general, and the rest of them are just like, well, who cares? And he doesn't even fight him in like a cool way. He just like assassinates him.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, you assassinating him is fine if he has a fight scene before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and yeah, it was honestly like the thing was, are you doing the little stealth attack? And he turns around, catches that. Predictable, that's gonna happen. And then it's just like drops the knife, catches it, stab, and it's like.
First of all, I thought that was pretty sick to be fair.
I didn't mind that. I thought, okay, fair dues. That's it though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let him do something. Let him just pull the knife out and they have a fight to the death or something, or like. Well, yeah, like something. Let something happen.
The way Arya kills him, I like that. If the Night King is fighting someone else before that.
Yeah, if he was fighting like Snow or something, it would have been so good. Yeah.
Again, it wouldn't have had to been Snow. It could have been fucking anyone. Snow would have been the best option for it, in my opinion. But like I say, this is the Night King story, is what Snow's story was up until he became Aegon Targaryen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was about to say, or you could, yeah, like exactly. You could have had the Hound. Her challenge basically, Night King. Hound comes in and he's like, "You're not gonna fight him. I'll fight him for you," sort of thing. He then loses the upper hand. She jumps in, does a little assassination. Nicely done, nicely played. Hound maybe dies, Hound stays. Like, I don't know. Maybe Hound like breaks his leg or something. I don't know. Something happens and it's just like, well, that was better than her just bye. Easy free kill. Thanks for playing, bro.
If I'm being honest, I think Theon got one of the best fight scenes there. Like I said, the only 3 fight scenes that I think were that memorable was Theon's in the court at the end. Arya's at the start, and Jorah's when he was dying.
Yeah.
Like I say, Snow had his little moment when he was like when he was trying to make his way through and stuff. But at the end of the day, what did it amount to anyway?
Yeah. Like honestly, trying to remember the whole thing back, it's all a blur.
Yeah,
like I just remember people getting ran down.
Yeah, I remember specific moments, but if I'm thinking back to the Battle of the Bastards, I can think of everything, to the scene where like Snow is like in between the midst of the action, you're seeing the horses go past and stuff, and like, man, like you can still follow it as well. That was one of the things with the Battle of the Bastards that was amazing. They put you in this chaotic scenario and you could still follow it, but you could still realize how chaotic it was. But with this, they put you in at nighttime. Don't make it they really don't make it easy for you to watch. And then on top of that, they're like, let's throw a snowstorm in there as well. It's a bitch I couldn't see anyway.
Yeah, I honestly, as soon as that started coming down, it was just like, I can't see a thing. I can't even see. The camera's focused on Snow and I can barely see Snow on the dragon. I can literally just see the dragon scales. And it's like, why did you do that? Like, it just...
Yeah, I agree.
But right, anyway, we'll finish up there. Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Wait.
Rate it out of 10.
We'll do the rating in a sec, but first, one positive thing, or the favorite positive thing, and biggest negative thing.
Biggest negative thing, the Night King's story as a whole. The biggest the positivist thing on that episode, Arya, just in general, everything she done was actually perfect in that episode.
I agree. For me, I'd say the biggest negative thing, even though I agree with you, the Night King sucked. I think the actual how difficult it was to follow the battle, and how little you think you remember actually happened in the battle, because not a lot happened. It was like you said, just people getting run down. So it was not really that great to watch. So like I say, that definitely scaled that back for me. And the positive thing, I would say Arya, like you say, like everything Arya did. I'm gonna say Theon. I thought Theon's fight scene in the court was one of the redeeming factors for me. Was when the rest of the Ironborn were dead and Theon was just freaking mowing people down. The only way it could have been better is, like I say, if he just drew the line in the sand with in the snow with the spear, that would have been badass as fuck.
Yeah. One thing, right? One thing I actually loved, and I actually did go, oh, that was spicy. The scene where Arya's going through the library, and she goes around the corner, and there's one of them there, and she literally shoves it straight through. If that was, it didn't matter if that was fucking one of them or a human, that person was dead. It did not matter who it was, and my reaction to it was, oh, that was nice. Like, that was clean. So I didn't mind that. I really respected that.
Just
that
in general, like, Arya was great that episode. Final rating for me, honestly, I don't want to be too harsh, but it's 5 or 6. 5 or 6.
5 or 6. I see. I'm
gonna still Game of Thrones.
I see. I'm gonna go really harsh.
Well, one second. It could. The reason I'm going 5 or 6 is because it could get better in the next 3 episodes, kind of like what The Force Awakens could have been, where like not a lot happens, but it preps. You know what I mean? So like, if the next 3 episodes are able to redeem this will go up in my mind. But for now, it's a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, for me, it's a straight 4. And I want to say to any director of Game of Thrones right now, right, as a fan, you ever embarrass me like that again, I'm fucking done with this. I'm pretty much like.
Well, you're done with it anyway. It's 3 episodes.
Like, I'll be done with your show. Literally, I was on the brink of buying every single merch I could possibly buy related to Game of Thrones, and that episode alone really, really disappointed me. Like, at least with Walking Dead, you get like 7 terrible episodes, but they're not terrible to the point where you kind of like, was that all that? Like, have you actually just built up?
Terrible. They were terrible.
Like, that's what I mean. But you've had 8 seasons to this point of game over. Right, at least on Walking Dead, it's like you have 6 seasons to game over, and then you're like, well, at least I'm over and done with that. Like, I can move on to whatever's new. That they don't get new after this. That was it. That was it. That was all you got.
No, this is the throne. Next is the throne. 3 episodes for the throne, and that is the least interesting story in Game of Thrones. The Night King is far more interesting.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next chapter. Peace.
Bye.